Good morning. So I had something on my mind, but as you can see from my motions, I'm driving. I've never done this before, but I also don't want to lose what I had on my mind and what I wanted to share, as I'm feeling that many others probably were feeling the same things I was feeling, having the same experience with energy. Maybe not all of you, maybe some of you. Let's see here. First of all, today is Friday, March 6th. I believe March 6th, Friday, okay? That way you have like a time reference in linear time. So, I don't know, I think it was about Tuesday night, maybe Tuesday night going into Wednesday, definitely, yeah. Tuesday night going into Wednesday, I just felt this drastic shift in energy, and I thought maybe it was just me, right? Because as I announced on my Instagram stories that, you know, I was talking about balance and everything, and fire, the element of fire, and women who are menstruating, their element of fire significantly goes up. It goes up higher because fire is needed for change, which is why fire brings forth transformation, right? Fire can destroy, but after destruction, new things can grow. So within the body, the fire element rises up to help with transitioning into this process of women menstruating and releasing old cells, old blood, old energy, whatever she was holding within her womb over the last month or so. Unless she's been doing some deep womb healing and brought some stuff up, whatever the theme was that came up. And that's what she's releasing in her menstrual cycle. So, okay, so I went on that tangent. Okay, so anyways, for me, I brought it up in Instagram stories because I was premenstrual, and actually still am. My period has decided to kind of like dilly-dally. I guess my body wants to menstruate literally really close to the full moon, which for months now I have been menstruating near the full moon, like a day before, a few days before, something like that. But as women know, we know that our cycle sometimes shifts and starts moving like a few days, you know, becomes a few days sooner or a few days later, whatever. Well, my fire's been high because I've been premenstrual. So I thought that was the only reason why I was feeling what I was feeling. I thought, okay, so my fire's high, which it's still personal. I know that I was feeling agitated because I'm working so hard. I'm not even kidding. I've been putting in so much work and effort into this online course. I want it to really reflect the right energy, and I want it to have all the information possible, you know, that it's a culmination of energy and information, wisdom that I've learned over 13 years of my life. So it's a lot, and there's just a lot that goes into making an online course, you know. And so I've been working really, really hard on it, and so I thought maybe I'm just pushing myself really hard. I need to take a break, which, you know, I thank God I have the awareness, you know, to say, hey, Trina, you need to take a break. Don't push yourself too hard. I know that about myself, and I know that I have a lot of fire, and if I don't, I'll get super cranky or snappy or really overwhelmed, and maybe have like a little breakdown or whatever, and just be exhausted and sleep for days, all kinds of stuff. So you know, I'm like, okay, let me just give myself a break. I know I'm premenstrual. Let me just take a break and take a nap. I need to step away from working, you know, go out in nature, Trina, you know, stuff like that. Then Wednesday rolls around, and I was like, what in the world? It was like, I got up, I did my devotionals as always, right? My devotional to Mother Mary. And I think I did maybe one thing. I worked on something for the online course for maybe 1 or 2 hours. And after that, I was like, I can't do this. And even in devotion, in my sacred space, I realized, and she was telling me, remember, tend to yourself. You know, you come first, tend to yourself, and everything else will be what it'll be. It'll fall in place, which is true. You know, you need to know that you have to take care of yourself. If you push yourself too hard, you're going to exhaust yourself, and then you don't have energy to give out, right? And depends on what life work you have, right? But regardless, if you're working around other people, if you have children, right, you're not going to have enough energy for anything if you don't fill your cup back up, right? So I was like, oh, I don't want to freak out, but I need to step away. I need to, you know, literally what I'm teaching in this course, I need to, you know, embody that, put that into practice. Just because I'm the one guiding you through this course doesn't mean I need to be pushing myself even harder and ignoring exactly what I want you to remember, to learn, to implement in your life, and that is to create balance. So I did that. The energy for me on Wednesday was just like, oh, I just felt so groggy. I felt like I got enough sleep, yet I felt so hazy almost, and I felt kind of cranky, and I didn't want to be around people. I didn't really want to get out of bed. I got out of bed to run an errand or two. We had to go get Wolfgang dog food and get some groceries, but I told Ty, I was like, can we just go home now? Like, after all this, I just want to go home. I don't want to be around anybody. I just need to relax. And I was assuming that that I would start menstruating that day too, and I didn't want to neglect that. I didn't want to neglect my womb and my womb care, you know. And as a woman and someone, if you're a woman and you're connected to your spirituality and your body and the Divine Mother, you know, don't neglect yourself and your womb and deepening into your sacred space during your menstruation. That's so important. So that's how I felt Wednesday, but I just kept, and then once I got some food in me, I couldn't help it. I couldn't keep my eyes open. But it's like, I just felt like, I don't know how to describe it. It is just something up here in, you know, the crown, forehead, ajna chakras. And when I woke up later, I made sure to cut cords and clear my energy. As someone who makes videos, works with others and stuff like that, you know, cords are created all the time, bonds are created, and sometimes they're not healthy bonds. You know, a person can unconsciously, energetically link themselves to someone, and I understand that. So I did cut cords to see if that helped, and it did. It actually did help significantly, but I still felt really tired, and I'd feel energetic maybe for an hour or two, and then all of a sudden I'd feel tired again, and I couldn't think well either. I noticed that it would take me a few seconds to think of the right word if I couldn't recall a word, if I was talking to Ty or someone. Mostly Ty, right? Like, we were in the middle of a few conversations and I just couldn't recall the right word. It just felt like mentally the mind wanted to shut down, and maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there was energy going on with the mind. Now, mind you, before Wednesday, I could feel a lot of mental energy too, and I think that was Monday. And I believe it was because Mercury moved into, I want to say Gemini. And I remember Monday being a very mental day, a lot of mental energy, a lot of mental chatter. I felt very focused, but I also felt like I didn't need sleep, but I also could just hear my own thoughts really loud. You know, it was as if I wasn't grounded. My vata, which is the air element, was imbalanced, so I needed to ground myself a lot. So that was Monday, right? And then a few days later, Wednesday, boom, and then I felt exhausted and my mind didn't want to work. Now, looking into astrology, and I love Dr. Lennox, he's one of the great astrologers I like to check in on. Him and a new person, 𝗙𝗵𝗶𝗶, her stuff is really great too. She's on Instagram. They're both on Instagram. And I just lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. And it's funny because the wind is blowing so hard. I can feel something in the air, and that's what I'm trying to get to, is that when I checked in with astrology, I found out, yeah, you know, Mercury, he's doing his thing, right? Moving through planets, but in retrograde. Okay, you got to remember that. Retrograde, meaning moving, appearing to move backwards. So to us, he's moving backwards, and this is a time of reflection. You know, if he's moving backwards, that literally is symbolic of us also moving within into ourselves. So I knew that Mercury had changed his, don't even know the word right now. See, there it goes. His station, I guess. Like, he moved into something else Wednesday going into Thursday. So I felt the energy strongest on Wednesday, super strong, like really, really strong. And then Thursday rolls around and I still kind of felt it. Give me a second. So I still felt it yesterday. Can't believe it's Friday, by the way. So let me get over here. So sorry about that. Be patient with me, please. So yesterday was Thursday. I still felt it, but I didn't feel it as much. I was able to focus. I got a lot done for the course and preparations for the course and the Masterclass, which I can talk a little bit about that at the end of the video. Talk about the Masterclass and the course, actually. They're both obviously connected. And but I still felt tired. I got to a point, I actually did way better. I would work really hard on something and then take a break. You know, watch something and let my mind relax. I'd step outside, put on music. The other thing I had to do yesterday is that I noticed my energy was really, really sensitive. So, you know, my mood was different days ago, and I had some nice chill step and dubstep on, but yesterday I needed soft, gentle sounds. So I had, you know, really gentle mantra music playing, you know, my favorites by like Niranjan Kaur, Ajit Kaur, stuff like that. And then, you know, YouTube kind of just mixes it up after a while, and it was all great. So I noticed I just needed really soft sounds and to help me focus. Then I ended up falling asleep, taking a nap, and when I woke up, I just still felt as if I didn't sleep enough, and I felt groggy and kind of like, it's been like that on and off this week, and I had to sit there for a while, and I stayed awake, but I noticed that every loud sound made me jump. So I immediately recognized that my spirit wasn't fully in my body. Now, this is important for me to say, because if you are an empath, if you are a starseed, if you have memory of, incarnating as anything other than human, okay? Because I could sit here and list all the different kinds of beings that we've been, right? Or where we've been other than Earth or the physical plane, right? So if you're someone who has memory of your other incarnations and forms, and you're sensitive, you're super sensitive. If you're a highly sensitive person, you're super sensitive, okay? And also, if you're someone who has been through a lot of trauma, you're very sensitive, I'm someone who's done a lot of work to get where I am today after the trauma that I've been through, and still I'm sensitive, and I believe I will always be. That's just how it is. That's how I am. Not just because of the trauma, but just everything. And you'll notice when you do research, if you're a trauma victim, usually it is the sensitive empath soul who really usually is the target anyways of an abusive person, of a narcissist. So yeah, there you go. So point blank, you're sensitive. Anybody who is extremely sensitive, maybe you already know this, maybe you don't. It took me a while to really mentally understand it. I understood it in other ways and didn't really know how to explain it to anybody. My reality and my perceptions and the way I experience life, the way I experience my life, the way I experience people, it's kind of hard to explain. But after all these years and working with master plant teachers and implementing spiritual practices to help me with my grounding and basically embodiment, I came to understand that what was happening to me is that I was becoming more embodied in my body. And that didn't start happening until 2015. I started to come into my body more, and then Mother Ayahuasca helped me. And then especially when I met my twin flame, that's really when it happened, and it was scary. It was like, oh my God, it was so thrilling and magical, but also very fucking scary to really come into your body. And so if you are like that too, then it's very possible that you also felt the energy that I was feeling and having a hard time with your spirit being in your body. And that's exactly what I was experiencing late last night, all the way up into like 2 a.m., I don't know, 1 a.m. I went to bed in the middle of the early morning, so meaning, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that. So if you were experiencing something similar, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's probably what was happening with you too, that your spirit, you were feeling your spirit and your body as two separate entities, which technically that's true. Our spirit, our body is just our physical vessel. It's just like me being inside this car right now, right? I'm the driver and the car is the car. I'm not the car, so you're inside your body. You are the driver. You are not the body. So it's possible that you were feeling, I guess I could say dissociated. I mean, in terms of psychology, when one is dissociated, it's something similar, right? Where but there are other things that go along with dissociation. But it's true, like people like us, I will have to say we do experience dissociation, the symptoms, maybe if we don't even know it. And that just, it also goes to like soul fragmentation, or literally just not being embodied fully in our body. So I just wanted to share that with you. And now it's Friday morning, and I finally feel like I got enough sleep, and I had to sleep a lot. So if you are also someone who ended up sleeping a lot, look, there's the sun. The sun is coming up. It's so beautiful. Oh, beautiful people. Let me just say, I am so fucking excited that spring is here. I know it's not officially the spring equinox, but I want to say like early February, that's when I started to notice energy and a shift in the weather, but also just a shift in energy. But also it's believed in other cultures too that it's like the energy right before spring equinox is still a form of spring. It's a form of the divine mother and the energy within the earth, like germinating and just coming together and spiraling and about to burst forth with life in springtime. So there's fertility waiting to happen. And look at that 222. That's beautiful. That's my mind for you. Where was I at on what I was saying? Let me just say, I've also noticed today people are just, you know what, that's probably another reason why I wanted to mention this, is because I think other people are not embodied, and really that's an issue on the planet. People don't realize they are not fully embodied. They're in their minds a lot, okay? But this morning, I'm noticing people are so fucking aggressive on the road, like extra aggressive. Whatever it is that they're feeling, it's like they're not fully being present. And you know, you don't have to drive crazy and put yourself at risk, put others at risk because of your impatience or whatever this emotion it is that you're feeling, this, or maybe even anxiety. It's just like people are just being aggressive on the road. Anyways, so aside from that, I'm driving, right? And the wind is crazy. The wind is strong. And it's not just the wind, even though it is the wind. The wind is magical, right? Wind is magical. Rain is magical. Lightning, thunder, all of it. The elements are wonderful. They're magical. And I can just feel it. It feels so potent. I feel like something is in the air. So pay attention. Be patient with yourself. Try to be patient with others. Be extra mindful. Make sure you're doing your grounding practices today. Make sure that you are giving yourself some time to dedicate to yourself and to your spiritual practice, whatever that may be. Make sure you do that, because it's important. I mean, what else do you want me to say? Like, it's important. If you don't continue to do your discipline, it's your spiritual discipline, okay, you're gonna go haywire. In energy like this, and I'm sure some of you may have experienced some semi-chaotic energy because of Mercury Retrograde, which we are almost out of on March 10th, but please remember that there still is the shadow, and I can't remember how long the shadow will be, but you know, the craziness should mostly end on March 10th, which it's honestly been pretty magical for me. It's literally just been this last week, this last stretch has just been weird and just mostly tiring. I've had a few things come up, like some people come to my mind, and so I've said prayers for them, and I feel like there might be a few things I need to do in regards to what came up for me. But other than that, Mercury Retrograde's been beautiful and magical. And I've been working really, really hard on this course, which I guess would be a perfect time to tell you, especially since I reached my destination. So everyone, if you haven't watched any of my other videos lately, and yeah, I've shamelessly been talking about it because I'm fucking excited about it, and there is nothing wrong in that. There is nothing wrong in me being so fucking excited about me stepping more into my role, more into my work, right? Like, yeah, I've been doing what I've been doing for a while now, right? But this is more than that, guys. This is way more. And I've been going through so many initiations over the past few years, and I've had these dreams just gestating in my womb, and my guides are relentless, but in a beautiful way. Mother Mary is gentle but very adamant about it, okay? And it's my higher self. It's just what I'm supposed to do. You know, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I am a priestess. I am a teacher. I am a guide. I am a healer. I am Trina Marie. Okay? I am a code holder of the Magdalene, of the Mary. And there's stuff that I'm supposed to teach, and I'm fully stepping into that now. And there's a course that I have been wanting to teach and put on an online platform for years, and I mean years. But I went through a lot of stuff the past few years that was necessary. I needed to do shadow work. I needed to integrate. I needed to move through things. I needed to see things. And you know what? All that work, actually, it worked out, because it helped me when I started to finish creating the course. What I experienced over the past few years, it helped me like connect the dots. Like, there's knowing, and then there's experience, and there's a way to be able to articulate it. And especially, like I said, I didn't realize that I hadn't been fully embodied. So it's just kind of like it's a whole thing, okay? And it just took me time and these experiences to be able to bring all of this and package it in a way that I can easily teach it. This course, it's wild because it'll seem so simple, but it's all about putting it into practice. You could sit there and read a book, right? You can read 1,000 books, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't put it into practice. You could go to a fuck ton of seminars. You could watch a bunch of fucking webinars. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean anything if you don't put it into practice. So my course, I've broken it down into 3 segments. Your physical healing, or physical health, mental health, and your spirituality, your spiritual health. And in the course, I teach you, I show you, I guide you, showing you how your body, your mind, and your spirit are interdependent. They're interconnected. One affects the other. And one of the best ways, and literally more than once, okay, more than once in my life, what I have noticed is, if you start with your body, if you start by cleansing, if you start by detoxing, if you start by paying attention to yourself and getting to know yourself, and paying attention to your food, then that has a trickle effect. It starts affecting your mind. It starts affecting your spirit. It starts affecting your spiritual practice. In this course, I will be guiding you through a detox, okay? A very gentle, affordable detox and a clean eating lifestyle for 21 days. And while you're doing this, I then guide you to learn more about yourself, your own unique makeup, okay? And what foods are good for you. What is best for you? I also teach you about clean eating versus not clean eating. I share my personal life stories and how I healed from stuff. And then I walk you through these different practices, and I bring information to you, and I just do it in a way that is easily digestible. And like I said, this is over 21 days. I created it so that you can do this in 21 days, but you'll be able to move through this course at your own pace. It's online. You have total control of how much information you want to digest in a day, how you want to move through it, and I will be there to guide you. I will be there to support you. I'll be there to answer your questions. There will be other students there that you can discuss and share stuff with. It's going to be so much fun. And aside from that, I also go into stuff about spirituality and how all of this affects your spiritual health, how it affects your spiritual practice, and how to put things into practice to help you with grounding, with being more mindful, with getting more in tune with your spirit. If you would like to know more, I am hosting a free masterclass, okay? It's completely free, okay? Nothing to lose. You don't have to invest anything but your time, or even just invest your energy to sign up. You don't even have to be there on Sunday at 8 p.m. If you can't make it, it is totally okay. But please register so that when Sunday comes, you get the link. Even if you can't sit there at the same time as others, sit in sacred space and watch it at the same time, that is okay. Get the link, register, get it, and watch it in your own time. In the masterclass, it'll be kind of like a smaller version of the course, give you like a little bit of nuggets, and it's also perfect because it's one day before the full moon. So I figured it was like perfect timing, because regardless, I want to be able to offer something of value, offer something that you can take away from the masterclass and feel good about. So, after the masterclass, you can reflect on what I talked about and maybe think of setting intentions for the full moon, or what to set intentions about for the full moon. And you know what? If you say, you know what, I want to fully commit to this, and I would love to do this in a group community setting, someone who can support me, who can hold me accountable, who can guide me through it, and I want to just learn more, then you know what? You can register for my course, and I'm there with you. It's gonna be so fucking cool. This is what I wanted to do for so long. Like, come on, the excitement. If you've been there yet and you've wondered what it is you're supposed to do in life, and that fucking excitement, and like, oh my God, like, this is it. I've been on my path for a while now and helping people, but this is like the cherry on top, because I've said this in other ways. I don't want people to be dependent on me. What I want is to empower you. I want to show you how you can heal yourself. I want to show you that you are powerful too. I want to show you that you can have the tools. I'm giving you the tools. I'm sharing them in the course. And with these tools, you can become more clear. I totally forgot to mention that the biggest thing that you'll notice in the course is that you're going to gain so much clarity, mental clarity and spiritual clarity. Like, cleansing is so important, and what I go throughout the course is going to help you in cultivating your spiritual practice and your clarity, to be more in tune with your spirit, more in tune with spirit, with divine. So it's super cool, and it's a big deal. And I'm also releasing the course on Wednesday, March 11th, my 33rd birthday. Yes, my 33rd birthday. I have been waiting for this since I was a little girl. I've always known it was going to be a rite of passage. And I honestly didn't know that I was going to release it on my birthday. I started working to get everything together in January, and I actually thought that I would have it ready by February. And then I was like, no, I'm rushing this. I'm rushing it. And then it hit me. She as in Mother Mary, my guide, showed me, no, your 33rd birthday. And lo and behold, when I was tying up the ends on my course and everything, and I noticed the number 13. The stuff that I'm going to be covering with you in the course, it's experiences and tools and everything that I started to learn. It's experiences that I had when I was 20 years old. 20 years old. And I'm turning 33. So yes, 13 years. This is a rite of passage, everyone. Like, this is huge for me. And with this rite of passage and this energy and this portal I'm going to be walking through, I want to share that magic with you. I want to share it with you. I hope that my energy and I hope that what I share touches your life and helps you. So if you need spiritual guidance, if you feel lost, if you feel stuck and like unmotivated, or like you feel like you're not doing what you're meant to be doing, which is really your ego, and it's just that you don't have the clarity right now, okay? So just hang tight. If you are experiencing physical stuff, okay, physical issues, as in you're having tummy issues, indigestion, bloat, constantly burping, a lot of gas, farting, you're not digesting your food well, you feel tired, lethargic, you feel inflammation in your body, or you don't know it's inflammation. Let me tell you, inflammation, if you're experiencing like pain in your joints and just kind of pain in your body and you feel really heavy and puffy, that's inflammation, okay? If you're experiencing any of this, cloudiness, mental cloudiness, a lot of anxiety, depression, if you just need a lift me up, or you need a lift me upper, you want some community, if you want to learn how to ground yourself, if you just want to learn more about yourself and the food that you should be eating and how it can help you, if you're someone who doesn't know about food well, if you're someone who doesn't really know much about healthy eating or where to start or what to do, if you're someone who just spiritually awakened, everything I've just said just now, if I've mentioned you, this course is for you. It's literally for everyone. It's information that's even for me. It's literally for every human being on the planet. If we were all doing this, this would help us in our daily lives. It would help us with our mental health, mental clarity. It'll help us in our spiritual practice, our spiritual walk. So I truly hope to see you there Sunday, March 8th at 8 p.m. Like I said, if you can't make it, that's totally cool. Just register. Make sure you register so you get the link. And so after you watch the video, if you have any questions, hit me up. And I am so honored. I am so honored to guide you through this journey. If you decide to invest in the course and take it, I am so honored. I truly am so honored to do this with you and to hold this space for you. Last thing I want to say is that there are payment plans. So you can choose which one you can afford, how you want to invest, okay? And I'll go into that more later, probably in the masterclass or an email, okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, because I know I ended up saying a lot, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining my morning ride. May you be blessed. Namaste. 𝗙𝗶𝗍𝗄𝗎. Aloha nui.